Canadian lynx, also known as Lynx canadensis, is a wildcat species native to the forests of North America. With its thick fur, distinctive tufted ears, and large paws, this lynx is well adapted to the harsh, cold environments it inhabits. This article will provide a comprehensive look at the biological characteristics, habitat, behavior, diet, reproduction, conservation status, and ecological role of the Canadian lynx. The Canadian lynx is a medium-sized cat, typically weighing between 8 to 14 kilograms, 18 to 31 pounds, and measuring 80 to 100 centimeters, 31 to 39 inches, in length, with a tail that adds another 5 to 15 centimeters, 2 to 6 inches. One of the most distinctive features of the lynx is its thick fur, which ranges in color from silver gray to brownish and becomes denser in winter to insulate against the cold. Its fur often features a faint spotted pattern, which helps it blend into its forested surroundings. Another striking characteristic of the lynx is its black tufts of fur on the tips of its ears, which are about 2 to 3 centimeters, 0.8 to 1.2 inches, long, and are thought to enhance its hearing, allowing it to detect prey in dense forests. The lynx also has a facial ruff of longer fur, giving it a bearded appearance. The Canadian lynx has excellent night vision and acute hearing, both crucial for hunting in the dim light of dense forests. Its eyes are adapted to detect movement and subtle changes in light, enabling it to spot prey even in low-light conditions. The lynx's keen hearing is further enhanced by the tufts on its ears, which help funnel sound into the ear canal. The Canadian lynx primarily inhabits boreal forests, also known as taiga, which stretch across Alaska, Canada, and into the northern regions of the United States. These forests are characterized by dense stands of coniferous trees like spruce, fir, and pine, mixed with areas of deciduous trees. The thick underbrush and fallen logs provide ideal cover for stalking prey. In addition to boreal forests, the lynx can also be found in subalpine forests and thick scrub areas, particularly when prey is abundant. It prefers regions with deep snow cover, where it has a competitive advantage over other predators that are less adapted to these conditions. The Canadian lynx is distributed across Canada, from eastern provinces like Newfoundland and Labrador to the western coast of British Columbia, and northward to Yukon and the Northwest Territories. In the United States, it is found in northern states such as Montana, Idaho, Washington, Minnesota, and parts of New England. The distribution of the Canadian lynx is closely tied to the presence of its primary prey, the snowshoe hare, Lepus americanus. As a result, lynx populations tend to fluctuate in accordance with the population cycles of snowshoe hares. The Canadian lynx is primarily a solitary animal, with each individual maintaining a large home range that it defends from others of the same sex. Male lynxes typically have larger territories than females, and these territories may overlap with those of several females, particularly during the breeding season. Lynxes mark their territory using scent marking and vocalizations. They have scent glands on their cheeks, paws, and under their tails, which they use to mark trees and rocks. Vocalizations such as meows, growls, and hisses are commonly used during the breeding season to attract mates and deter rivals. The diet of Lynx canadensis is heavily dependent on the snowshoe hare, which makes up between 60 to 97% of its food intake. The lynx is a specialized predator, well adapted to hunting hares in dense boreal forests. It uses patience and stealth to approach its prey, often waiting for hours until a hare comes close enough to ambush. In addition to snowshoe hares, the Canadian lynx also preys on other small mammals and birds, such as squirrels, grouse, and ptarmigans. During times when hares are scarce, the lynx may expand its diet to include larger prey like young deer, although this is less common. Lynxes rely on stealth and agility to capture their prey. They employ a sit-and-wait strategy, often sitting silently for hours in areas where hares are likely to pass. When the hare comes close, the lynx uses a quick burst of speed to close the distance and seize the prey with a powerful pounce. Lynx's large, fur-covered paws allow it to move silently over the snow, giving it an advantage in winter hunting. Its sharp claws and strong jaws are well suited for gripping and killing prey swiftly. The breeding season for the Canadian lynx occurs from February to April. During this time, male and female lynxes come together to mate. Males may travel long distances to find receptive females, and there is often competition between males for access to mates. The gestation period for the lynx is about 63 days. The female lynx gives birth to a litter of 1 to 6 kittens, with an average of 2 to 4, in late May or early June. The den is usually located in a secluded spot, such as in a hollow log or dense thicket, to protect the vulnerable kittens. Lynx kittens are born blind and are entirely dependent on their mother for warmth and nourishment. They open their eyes at about 10 days old and begin exploring their surroundings at around 5 weeks old. By the time they are about 3 months old, they start accompanying their mother on hunting trips, learning the necessary survival skills. The mother continues to care for and feed the kittens until they are about 10 months old, at which point they become more independent. However, some siblings may stay together for a time before dispersing to establish their own territories. In the wild, the average lifespan of a Canadian lynx is about 10 to 15 years, although some individuals have been known to live up to 20 years. In captivity, where threats from predators and human activities are minimized, they can live even longer. The Canadian lynx is currently listed as least concern by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, due to its wide distribution and relatively stable population. However, some local populations, particularly in the United States, are considered threatened or endangered. The main threats to the Canadian lynx include habitat loss, fragmentation, and degradation due to logging, mining, and urban development. Climate change is also a significant threat as it alters the boreal forest ecosystem and affects the population dynamics of snowshoe hares. Human activities such as trapping and hunting, although regulated, can also impact lynx populations. While fur trapping has declined in recent years, it remains a concern in some areas. Conservation efforts for the Canadian lynx focus on protecting, managing, and restoring habitats. Maintaining and creating connected habitats that support both lynxes and their prey is crucial for their long-term survival. In the United States, lynx populations benefit from protections under the Endangered Species Act, which includes measures to conserve critical habitats and mitigate human impacts. Research and monitoring programs are also important for understanding lynx population trends and the factors affecting their survival. By tracking the movements, health, and reproductive success of lynxes, conservationists can develop more effective management strategies. As an apex predator, the Canadian lynx plays a vital role in maintaining the balance of the boreal forest ecosystem. By regulating snowshoe hare populations, lynxes help prevent overgrazing and support the health of forest vegetation. This predator-prey relationship is an example of closely linked population cycles, where the abundance of hares directly influences lynx populations. The presence of lynxes in an ecosystem often serves as an indicator of the overall health and biodiversity of that ecosystem. Healthy lynx populations suggest a functioning ecosystem with adequate food sources and suitable habitats. Protecting lynxes and their habitats can have broader benefits for other species and the ecosystem as a whole. The Canadian lynx, Lynx canadensis, is a remarkable species, well adapted to the harsh conditions of the boreal forest. Its unique physical characteristics, specialized hunting skills, and solitary behavior make it a fascinating subject of study. Despite facing significant threats from habitat loss and climate change, conservation efforts are underway to protect this wild cat and ensure its survival for future generations. By understanding the biology, behavior, and ecological role of the Canadian lynx, we can appreciate its importance in the natural world and the need to conserve its habitat. Through ongoing research, conservation, and education, we can help secure a sustainable future for this iconic lynx species and the ecosystems it inhabits.